Okay, guys, we are looking at the nephron today. And I suppose one thing to mention about the nephron before we even start is just to highlight that there are millions of these nephrons here in the in each kidney. So you're talking about 2 million per kidney. There are a microscopic structure. So if I look here at what we're drawing here in front of us, we have got the Bowman's capsule has been drawn first. Okay, so you can draw sort of a curve. And out of that then comes your tube, which is running down. Now this tube here is actually what we call the proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, convoluted, I suppose the word means complicated. And that's because there's plenty of loops and twists in this proximal convoluted tubule. And then it runs into this loop of Henle, which is literally a loop, which runs then up into what we call the distal convoluted tubule. Okay, so again, convoluted meaning twisted and complicated. So this distal convoluted tubule then runs into the what we call the collecting duct. Once you have that much drawn, you need to start thinking then about the actual connection between blood and the actual, I suppose, nephron, because blood is delivered here through a blood vessel here we call the afferent arteriole. Okay, and that then I suppose goes into a network of many capillaries, and that ball of capillaries really is makes up a structure we call the glomerulus. Okay, out of this glomerulus, we then have an efferent arteriole, which is taking blood then away from this nephron. Okay, so once you've all of that done, start labeling. Okay, so again, you want nice clear diagrams or labels for this one. And I suppose if you think about it, it's a continuous tube. Okay, so once the point of contact is met, where we have the glomerulus, which is the capillaries, and the Bowman's capsule, this is where the urine, or rather the filtrate, is going to be, I suppose, created, because only so much material can actually get through that Bowman's capsule. Okay, and once it's going through Bowman's capsule, then it's passing down into the proximal convoluted tubule, which is where we're starting to see a little bit of the reabsorption happening of the water. You can see here I have afferent arteriole and the efferent arteriole now labeled. One way to remember this, the direction of blood flow is in the alphabet, A always comes before E. Okay. Um, the other thing then is, I suppose, when you go down to the loop of Henle, it's important maybe sometimes to highlight that there is the descending limb, which is this one here, and we've also got the ascending limb of the loop of Henle. So it's still the loop of Henle, but we have what we call the descending, as in meaning going downwards, and the ascending meaning going back upwards. I may have highlighted here a minute ago, but the proximal convoluted tubule and I suppose, is shortened to the PCT, and the distal convoluted tubule is then shortened to the DCT. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward there for that one. The collecting duct, guys, in relation to the collecting duct, please be aware that the collecting duct is actually connected onto the medulla. Okay, so we have, remember, nephrons, we have millions of these guys, and these collecting ducts are all connected onto the medulla of the kidneys, which means that we then can pass the urine straight out into the, I suppose, the renal pelvis, and then out into the ureters and down into the bladder. Okay, and this is done by all of these microscopic structures. So you have millions of these microscopic structures doing this at one time. So that is basically your nephron structure. It's very straightforward if you start with the Bowman's capsule and work your way to the collecting duct, and finish then with the glomerulus then at the end. Okay. So you can see here, the final thing I'm writing here is how to identify the afferent and efferent arteriole. And remember the clue, A always comes before E. Okay, so E for exiting. That's it, guys, and I hope that will make it straightforward.